First and foremost was quality. I mean, our first objective with implementing a system was that it had to be a tool that would support a continuous improvement environment. It gave us the access to the information that we needed, gave us that access in a very timely fashion so that we could monitor our process, react to changes in the process, implement changes as required when problems arose in a timely fashion so that we could continue to improve our process and the reliability of our product on a daily basis. That was the number one priority. Our second priority was to eliminate wasteful activities, and a lot of the compliance had resulted over years of good intentions becoming very paper intensive, and certainly filling out paperwork and log sheets and route cards and test data sheets is not terribly efficient use of time. So we were looking to eliminate a lot of the paperwork required to maintain compliance. For the very first phase, the implementation lasted about 6 months. From the point we selected the application of the solution of Camstar to the point that we actually went live on the manufacturing floor. It was a very aggressive timeline, and we pushed very hard to get it in place. And there were certainly challenges along the way based on that aggressive schedule. But by breaking the project down into phases, it made it achievable by biting off smaller pieces of the project at a time, and therefore to start getting a quicker payback on our solution. The cycle time improved by a factor of 100%. I mean, the productivity through that area increased dramatically. We also saw an increase in yields of upwards of 20% in that particular area immediately right out of the gate. Certainly at the end of the process, when we do a final QA check of the entire system, a lot of time was spent by the people in final quality assurance to make sure that all the documentation was correct, all the data sheets were filled out, all the test procedures filled out, everything passed, all the device history, genealogy of components, everything was recorded properly. And so getting a product through the final QA group took a bit of time because of all this documentation that had to be verified. And with the implementation of the system, none of that has to be done. The device doesn't even get to them if all of that isn't already complete and in place. So there was a dramatic improvement in productivity within the final QA area. Certainly many quality improvements take some time, but we were also able to realize some return on our investment very quickly. As we now started to collect this data real time, we were able to react, to have visibility to the data and react to problems in a much more timely fashion. So now we're seeing quality data on a daily basis, as opposed to in the past it would take a while for somebody to collate the documentation and sift through it and determine what was going on, and there was a definite time lag. Certainly the sooner that you have the data available to you, the sooner you're able to identify where the problem is, and it's easier to find root cause, put in a corrective action, and move forward. And so we've seen some definite improvements right out of the gate with our quality because of the accessibility of the data that we have in front of us today. But if a vendor came to me and said, you know what, I just discovered I had some components I sent you that were bad, to be able to go into all of the folders and find out where that component was used is a very difficult process. So having the data now available in a database that's searchable and accessible by many people, now I can go through and really have kind of a bi-directional use of that data. And by doing that, we now can take that information and drive our process improvement activities.